Never go down to the sea, I say, unless you want to die. For I went down to the sea, you see, and I'm lucky I'm alive. That day, the sun shone brilliant as we unfurled our noble sail, and on the endless lapping waves traced a crested ocean trail. There were 5 of us in the dinghy: Horace Hangtree, née Flea, a captain-at-arms, a shorthand called Bim, Timothy Dingle, and me. 5 friends set upon adventure across the briny sea. But only one would e'er come back, and that one alone was me. For a storm rose up from nowhere that threatened every hand, and we may have been dashed against the rocks, if we weren't so far from land. Like a cork freed from a bottle, our tiny boat was tossed. With no compassionate stars to guide us, we were damned, completely lost. Then, as suddenly as it started, the sea became becalmed. We huddled by the rudder as the captain cried, "Alarm!" Look! Witness in the distance a column of curling smoke, with an island pale and beckoning. And that filled us all with hope. Oh, such strange, reluctant beauty, it took our breath away. And we wandered deep, far from the shore, just near the break of day. And though our limbs were heavy, our simple hearts just soared. Half dead, unfed, on weary feet, we joyously explored. Until we read, high upon a cliff, on a Verdun's copper plaque, a disturbing note in silver point: "Do not dwell here after dark. For this island is a deadly place, filled with beasts and mystery, and the most fearsome of these fearsome things is that monstrous thing, the Scree." Then, beneath a leafless arbor, we heard a murmur, ghostly clear. The chilling scrape of the dreaded Scree was playing on our fear. It swam around the treetops. It tickled on our skin. Its razor fingers in the air, yet hidden in the wind. Then a silence strange conceded there was something on its way. It was hungry and demented, and in desperate search of prey. Etched against the evening sky, dual crescents burnished black, it sensed us warm below it, and swooped down to attack. Screaming out of heaven with its leather wings outstretched, its vampire nose sniffed the air for the snack that suited best. We each thought of the other as we scattered and we cowered, and 4 would find their haven. But poor Bim was quick devoured. And what remained of Bim to mourn? There were no pieces of him left, just the fragrance of a memory as it flew back to its nest. We crowded together for comfort, to stop the tears, to be restored, and knew we could do neither. The 5 were now but 4. Just 4. Just 4. Just 4 alone in the pits of a hungry night, with no knowledge that could aid us, no rescuers in sight. As something rustled in the brambles, something standing deathly still. 3 gleaming, glistening limbs, tensed and ready for the kill. Half a reptile, half an insect, but a monster all in all, slathering, hissing, craving blood, o'er dusty ground it crawled. With a movement terrifying and hideous to see, it, rampant, sucked out the brain of the friend that we called Flea. She screamed out, "Save yourselves!" as the monster heaved and chewed, and we fled into the mountains, knowing there was nothing we could do. "What's that?" cried Dingle, staring mad with panic in his voice. He stood stock still, frozen there, as if bereft of choice. 4 luminous, knotted fetlocks of skinless, bleached white bone. And the 3 of us still left knew one would not be going home. What monster now came into view, with its skull more like a beak, with a rib cage with no organs, and hooves with bones like feet? A flayed horse, famished, and in lust-crazed search of meat. In the clearing spied with ravenous eye 3 tiny, stockinged treats. It swaggered, loose-hipped, wondrous, its jaws all glazed with red, and unperturbed by moral conscience, ripped off poor Dingle's head. And then we were but 2, just the captain-at-arms and me, in the blistered world, in a thickened briar, awaiting on the Scree. We stayed silent, hidden in the scrub, beside a gentle brook. The wild world kept on calling us, but we dared not even look. The hours crawled, the ravens flew. We pretended we were safe, as I noticed 8 grotesque vines hanging inches from my face. Some had dreadful pincers covered with matted hair. They were the legs of a giant spider, and we were hiding in its lair. Then it jumped upon the captain, spinning silk about his legs, like he was just a bloated horsefly, just another filthy cleg. It kept spinning round his body, that poisoned length of thread, and the final part it wrapped about his startled, yowling head. And then there was only me, just me, and me alone, on an island lost in somewhere, and miles away from home. In the wind, I heard the scraping, a sound both cruel and cunning, and I knew within my heart that the Scree was finally coming. Terror took my heart, dear friends, and pushed my poor feet on. It held my hand for comfort and whispered to me, "Run!" I ran through all where we had walked, heading always for the shore. And when I could run no longer, I ran some more. I ran with breathless, burning tears, broken and forlorn, and that sound around me haunting like a mumbled song of scorn, like a vanquished howl of anguish, like eternal misery. But a million times more frightening came that throttled cry of "Scree!" I ran until my heart gave out, till I thought that I was dead, till I saw a message on a tree. "This way, to the door," it read. And though I scarce believed it, there upon the brazen shore, with its handle still intact, lay a blue and battered door. I flung the door into the sea, eager to depart, as 1,000 precious butterflies swarmed about the faithless craft. I wondered why they followed, but perhaps they too, like me, knew anywhere was better than somewhere near the Scree. There were storms, maelstroms, cyclones too, and they lasted several days. But I was free of that damnable land. I was finally away. Then sleep, sweet sleep, rescued me with dreams of paradise, of floating castles made of stone and flames of colored ice. And when I woke, I found myself still cradling that oar as the first pale light of morning broke beneath my bedroom door. How I made it home, I do not know. All I know is I was saved. And though few believed my story, some were quite amazed. And as I wander through this life, I will ne'er be free, for every sound reminds me of the shrieking of the Scree. So never go down to the sea, I say, unless you want to die. For I once went down to the sea, you see, and I'm lucky I'm alive.